Hey yo, it's the GroveStGambler and you're watching my first impressions of the First Strike map pack video. Now this map pack comes with 4 multiplayer maps and 1 zombie map. I'll only be talking about the multiplayer maps, which are Berlin Wall, Discovery, Kowloon, and Stadium. And we'll just go straight into it by going into Berlin Wall. Now this map is obviously based on the city of Berlin, and the first thing you might notice is that big red area on the mini-map. And when you go in there, well, this is what happens to you. Sirens go off and you get shot by automated turrets, so don't go in there. Now, as you may know, the east side of Berlin and East Germany were allied with the communist Soviet powers back then, while West Germany and West Berlin were allied with the Western Democratic powers. And this map pretty much represents that, with the red no man's land in the middle and a clear eastern and western side. The west side's got all these nice little cafes and record stores and things like that, you know, all the hallmarks of a free democratic society, right? Now I'm getting all propagandistic here. But the exteriors of this map are really characterized by a lot of really long sight lines that go all the way across the map, which makes this a great map for sniper rifles, G11 with the scopes, or ACOG scopes, because when you're just using regular iron sights, people can really be so far away that you can't really see anything. So yeah, definitely a lot of long-range engagements here. There's also a lot of interior spaces, a lot of little shops and things like that where you can have close quarters engagements, as well as a lot of little sniper perches where you can kind of get medium to long range sniper shots down on people running across the no man's land and things like that. Overall, I'm really enjoying this map a lot so far. It has a lot of variety. It gets your close quarters combat, your medium and long range shots. And the map is just so detailed. These little rooms and shops and things like that are just so realistic. You really feel like you're actually in a city having a battle, and you really got to keep your head on a swivel because people can really be coming at you from anywhere. Next up is Discovery. Now this map is set somewhere in the Arctic, and it also has a lot of these long-range cross-map kind of sight lines. Very sniper friendly, as was Berlin. And I like to call this little snowy tunnel area Hoth, since it really resembles the rebel base from Empire Strikes Back. And this map also has a ton of little buildings with a bunch of little rooms in them that will lead to inevitably a whole lot of close quarters combat, and also a whole bunch of these sniper perches where you can really see the whole map, but that also means the whole map can see you, which makes for some interesting situations. This map has so many little rooms and buildings that if you play with a team and you're used to calling out the locations of your enemies to each other, man, I think it's going to take a long time to just figure out which building's what and what to call everything, because there's just tons and tons and tons of these little shacks everywhere. So it could take a little while to get your communication on, because a lot of these buildings just look so similar to me, but maybe it's just because I'm new to the map. But just look at how detailed everything is. Everything looks so realistic. That water looks incredibly cold. I don't want to jump in there. And this map really is truly a sniper's paradise, but you gotta be stealthy about it like a real sniper, because if you just camp out in the same window, people will be able to get to you. Now, the interactive element to this map is these ice bridges, which some of them will fall down if you shoot at them. I haven't really seen many people doing this in-game, but you can jump across. Just watch out, because sometimes those bridges aren't there anymore. And I'm having a lot of fun on this map because I'm actually a terrible Call of Duty sniper, but I'm having a fun time doing it on this map because you actually get to do it like a real sniper. You're not just running around having to quickscope somebody running around a corner. And look at how many bonuses I got on this one shot. Now, the next map I'll be talking about is Kowloon, which is based on the old Kowloon walled city. Check out this jumbo jet coming into land and just buzzing the rooftops, which is just like the original Kowloon walled city in Hong Kong used to be like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're already on YouTube, so go ahead and just search for videos for Kai Tak Airport crosswind landings, and you'll see some gnarly footage of jumbo jets coming into land, buzzing the tops of buildings and flying sideways and doing all kinds of other crazy things that'll make you not want to take a commercial flight ever again. But this place doesn't exist anymore, and neither does that airport, but it lives on in Call of Duty Black Ops First Strike map pack. And this is a really interesting map because it's, I would say it's the most vertically oriented map I've ever played in Call of Duty. And what I mean by that is it's very multi-leveled. There's a lot of things to climb up and climb down, and there's things above you and below you and to the left and to the right. It's very three-dimensional like, and it's very fast-paced because it's all close quarters combat with a ton of little rooms and a bunch of tight little corridors to run down. And it's all very detailed, very realistic. I mean, you could totally imagine that somewhere down below all this is a couple of dudes kickboxing to the death in the Kumite, just like in Bloodsport and Bloodsport 2 and Bloodsport 3. But to just look at these corrugated tin sheets and just how grungy and grimy everything is. It's just like how I would imagine the real thing would really be like. It's got the wires hanging down from the ceilings and everything. Now this map also has kind of an interactive element to it, which is these zip lines which you can take from this room up here, which might be the highest point of the map, or maybe the red neon sign to my left, which you can't really see, that might be the highest point. But anyways, from this room there are a couple of zip lines that you can take down to the edges of the map, and they're kind of fun, but at the same time they seem like death traps to me because you can't jump off in the middle, you can't shoot. You can't even look around while you're riding on the things, so it just seems like a good way to get shot. And that's going to bring us to Stadium, which is kind of a disappointing map if you ask me. I mean, it doesn't seem as good as the other maps in this pack, and it just seems kind of haphazardly designed. There's a lot of wide open spaces with no cover anywhere. But on the other hand, there's a bunch of these little rooms and back corners that I don't think anybody's ever going to go inside. It doesn't really seem to fit the whole Cold War theme or the rest of the game at all in any way. And there's not really a good flow to this map. I mean, like, the battles just seem to kind of break out randomly for no reason. And if I really had to compare this map to anything, I would say that this map is like the Nuketown of this expansion pack. And I really mean that in a couple of different ways. I mean, like, it doesn't seem as detailed as the other maps. And also, you're probably going to get a lot of kills, but you'll probably also get a lot of deaths. And also, for some reason, people seem to keep voting this map to get played over and over again. And I really don't understand why. Another kind of disappointing thing about this map is that it doesn't seem to have that interactive element that the other maps in this pack have. For example, when I went looking for it, I thought, oh, maybe when this counter gets to 0, something will happen, but nope, it just resets to 15 and counts down again. And look at this stadium. I mean, that ice looks so inviting. I just want to hop over that rail and like drive the Zamboni, but no, it's for authorized personnel only. And you would think that if you're carrying around an assault rifle, it would kind of authorize you to go anywhere you want, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And this is one of those little rooms that I just feel like hardly anybody will ever really come in here. And again, the lack of detail is kind of disappointing. And also this map has a lot of weird invisible walls that it shouldn't have. For example, it looks like I should be able to run right through here, but no, you can't. And I realize that this is the edge of the map, but I just don't think you should make the edge of the map look like something you could run through. And finally, look at these magazine covers. They're so incredibly detailed compared to everything else in this map. It makes me wonder if these are supposed to pass for the interactive element of this map, which if they are, kind of disappointing. But despite all of that, I do feel like this map pack is totally worth it. The other maps are fantastic. I know that a lot of people on YouTube and other places like to complain about how much these expansion packs cost and stuff, but you know, when it comes down to it, I'm an adult. I'm not like some 13-year-old kid trying to get this on my parents' allowance or anything like that. And compared to a lot of other entertainment options, it's actually pretty cheap when you break it down to like a cost per hour of entertainment basis. So yeah, I think it's totally worth it and you should get it. So once again, I'm the GroveStGambler. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, please check out my other ones. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, whatever, all that good stuff. And thank you and good night.